He laughed at my body on our wedding night. I knew something was wrong the moment the laughter started. Not the happy, clinking glass kind. The sharp kind that cuts like broken glass. Gold lights dripped from the ballroom ceiling. Roses crowded every table. Violinists played love songs. Everyone said our wedding looked like a scene from a movie. I thought so too, until Abel leaned close to me during our first dance. "Careful," he whispered in my ear, smile frozen for the cameras. "If you spin too fast, the cake might think you're competition." The words hit like ice water. I forced my lips to hold the smile. The guests clapped. The photographer snapped. Abel twirled me again, still whispering jokes about how round I looked in my silk gown. I kept dancing because that's what brides do. They dance, they glow, they pretend nothing hurts. Later, during the toast, my maid of honor lifted her glass and said, "To a love that never judges." People cheered. Abel coughed into the mic and murmured, "Depends on the weight of the evidence," then laughed at his own joke. A few cousins laughed too, unsure why. My cheeks burned. That night, while he carried me over the hotel threshold, he grunted on purpose, shouting, "Heavy cargo coming through!" The bellboy gave an awkward smile. I looked at the floor and tried to laugh along. Hey, story lovers! If moments like these make your heart race, smash that red subscribe button right now. More twists are on the way, and you don't want to miss them. Marriage started like a slow leak. Little comments here, tiny jabs there. Over breakfast, Abel called me cupcake, but said it with a smirk, like frosting was a sin. When I served jollof rice, he tapped my tummy and joked, "Feeding the twins in there?" We had no kids, just my quiet heart swallowing his words. At church, he wrapped an arm around my waist, squeezed the flesh, and whispered, "Soft seats save money on pew cushions." I laughed too loudly so people wouldn't see the tears in my throat. Grocery days were the worst. If I reached for bread, he'd tap the label. "High carbs, Abby. Remember your circumference." He said circumference like it was my secret name. I started buying only salad, even though I loved fresh bread. He still teased, "Rabbit food for my cute, chubby bunny." I tried to talk once. "Abel, those jokes." "Relax," he cut in, scrolling his phone. Humor keeps love alive. I smiled a small smile, walked to the bathroom, and cried into a towel so he wouldn't hear. Nights grew silent. I hid under blankets, counting the breaths between his snores and my tears. My phone gallery filled with old photos where I looked happier, lighter, inside and out. I stared at them, begging the girl on screen to come back and save me. I used to wake up and check the sun. Now I woke up and checked Abel's mood. If he grinned, the kitchen stayed bright. If he frowned, the whole flat turned gray, even when the Lagos morning blazed like fresh gold outside our windows. I quit Instagram first. I loved taking photos. Plates of fried plantains stacked like coins, selfies in Ankara dresses, but every click became a dart. Abel would peer over my shoulder and mutter, "Filters can't hide everything, Abby." So I hid everything instead. I muted group chats. I ignored Tola's calls. My old university friends called me Smiley back then. Now their messages said, "Girl, are you alive?" I typed, "Busy, sorry." Then deleted the app. Some days I just lay on the sofa, staring at the ceiling fan till its blades blurred like a spinning coin. Abel worked late, so the flat was quiet. Quiet the way an empty church is quiet, holy on the outside, but echoing inside. I bought a little notebook from a roadside seller, orange cover, 50 pages. I called it the Book of Silence. Each night I wrote one line. Not a chapter, not a poem. One line. Tiny sentences that felt safe. He laughed at the jeans I tried on. The scale says 82 kilograms. His eyes say 820. I miss bread. By page 10, the notebook felt heavy as stone, but my chest felt lighter, at least for those moments. Still, the walls kept closing. At a cousin's baby shower, I wore a loose blue dress. Abel patted my belly hard like a drummer finding rhythm. "Baby number 1 or 2 in there?" He joked. The room fell quiet. I laughed so they could laugh. The room exhaled and the party moved on. When we got home, I went straight to the wardrobe. All my colorful dresses looked like strangers. I shoved them aside and pulled out black trousers, black tops, black scarves, shapes meant to shrink me in shadows. As I changed, Abel leaned in the doorway biting an apple. Juice dripped. He studied me like a shopkeeper weighing fruit. "You know black is slimming," he said. "Good choice." I nodded, lips zipped. He left a trail of apple seeds on the carpet. I picked them up, one by one, thinking how tiny things can grow into trees if you bury them deep enough. Hey, story lovers! If you can feel Abigail's silent storm, pause and hit subscribe right now. Don't miss the next heartbeat. Saturday arrived with smoke and spice. Abel's older brother, Uncle Bayo, hosted the annual Big Family Grill Out. 30 cousins, loud uncles, toddlers weaving between plastic chairs. Music pumped, suya sizzled, and sweaty bottles of malt clinked like bells. I wore my safest outfit, loose black maxi dress, denim jacket, small gold studs. I practiced my smile in the mirror before we left. 4 seconds long, teeth hidden, eyes bright. Ready, I told myself. Abel was in full host mode. Big laugh, bigger ego. He slapped backs, cracked jokes, poured drinks. He even kissed my cheek in front of Auntie Ngozi. My heart fluttered. Is today the day he's kind? The grill smoked heavy. Chicken legs lined up like soldiers. Abel grabbed the long fork and poked at the meat. Needs more heat, he shouted. Uncle Bayo laughed. Abel knows heat. He married it, Abby? Heads turned, all eyes on us. Abel winked. Oh, my Abigail's got plenty of heat. Stores it well. He tapped my hip with the fork handle. Sauce splattered on my jacket. A few guests chuckled. Fine, I could swallow that. Then a teenage cousin asked for more charcoal. Abel held up a chicken thigh and boomed. Don't worry, Abigail can just stand closer. She radiates enough warmth to cook this whole yard. Laughter roared, loud and bright as fireworks. Some clapped, some winced. I felt my skin peel in the heat of their eyes. My mouth opened, but no words. Smoke stung my eyes. Tears threatened. I stepped back. The laughter rose again. He had noticed my retreat. Emboldened, he waved the fork like a microphone. Babe, spin around. Show them the built-in grill. My cheeks flamed. I heard a child ask, Auntie, are you fire? The adults shushed him, but the damage was done. I looked for safety. Maybe the bathroom, maybe the neighbor's compound, maybe a hole in the ground. Abel blocked my path with a playful bow. Ah, don't run, Cupcake. You'll melt. Something snapped, not loud but final. I set my plate on the table, chicken untouched, and walked to the gate. Behind me, the laughter stalled into whispers. I heard Auntie Ngozi hiss, Abel, that was too far. He yelled after me, Hey, it's just jokes! Jokes that tasted like ash. Outside, dusk settled over the street. I walked barefoot down the cul-de-sac, holding my sandals in one hand. My tears finally escaped, warm as pepper soup. I didn't know where to go, so I went home. In the flat, silence hugged every corner. I changed into pajamas, pulled the book of silence from under the mattress, and wrote the longest line yet. Tonight he fed them laughter and fed me to the laughter. I underlined it 3 times. The pen cut the paper. Hours later, Abel stumbled in, smelling of smoke and beer. He found me on the sofa, notebook on my lap. Abby, you acting like I killed someone. I looked at him, really looked. His shirt stained with barbecue sauce, grin lopsided, eyes glassy. You killed something, I said. My voice shook but stayed low. Maybe you'll figure out what. He scoffed. Drama queen. He slammed the bedroom door. I lay there till dawn, listening to the ceiling fan spin. With every turn, I felt the old me drop away like dried leaves. The new me gathered strength in the dark, quiet as roots pushing through concrete. The morning after the grill out, I found 3 things on my kitchen counter. 1, a half-empty bottle of stout. 2, Abel's fork, still oily from chicken skin. 3, my notebook. Its pages open like a mouth that had finally learned to scream. I stood there in my robe, staring at those objects as if they were 3 judges. My heart beat fast, but my thoughts felt slow enough to follow one clear line. Something must change, or I will vanish. I made tea. No sugar, no milk, just hot water and bitter leaves. The steam hit my face like truth. Then I did something I hadn't done in years. I stepped onto the scale. 83 kilos. The number flashed red. My cheeks warmed with shame, then cooled with decision. Okay, I whispered to the empty flat. First step. I spent that Sunday doing quiet research. I Googled at-home workouts for beginners, easy Nigerian low-oil recipes, and therapists in Yaba. I bookmarked pages, jotted phone numbers, and set alarms. 6 a.m. every day for walking. Abel rolled in after noon, sunglasses on, smelling like smoke and leftover jokes. Why are you dressed like a jogger, he asked. Because I just jogged. He blinked. You? Jog? Yeah, I said, tying my shoelace tighter. Me. He shrugged, popped open another stout, and turned on the TV. I walked back outside. The sun stung my eyes, but the wind felt like applause. My plan had no grand announcement. No dramatic Facebook post. It was a whisper between me, my notebook, and the call-it. I started with power walks around the block. Past the yellow gate, past Mom Ngozie's pepper stall, past the mechanics who always waved. 10 minutes became 20. 20 became 30. I downloaded a free workout app. The American trainer on the screen shouted, "Jumping jacks!" I jumped until sweat soaked my headscarf. I'd never felt so heavy and so light at the same time. Food changed, too. I kept Eba and pounded yam out of the house and stocked beans, vegetables, grilled fish. Abel noticed the empty bread bin and frowned. "We out of loaves? Trying a new meal plan," I said. He rolled his eyes. "We? Me." Abel ordered takeout. Burgers, chips, sugary drinks. I served myself 1 spoon of beans and a small piece of fish. When he mocked me, "Rabbit food again?" I smiled, chewed, and wrote a new line in my notebook. "Rabbit soon learns to run." The first day I walked into Dr. Effe's office, I nearly turned back. The waiting room smelled like disinfectant and fresh heartbreak. Posters on the wall read, "It's okay to talk." My hands trembled. But then I imagined spending 10 more years letting Abel's jokes shrink my spirit. I pictured gray hair and hollow laughter. The thought pushed me forward. Dr. Efe was petite, with salt pepper braids and kind eyes behind plain glasses. She let me speak in bursts, first about the barbecue, then about the wedding night, then about the hidden tears. She didn't gasp, didn't judge. She said, "Words leave bruises too, Abigail." She gave homework. List 5 things you love about yourself. I stared at the paper that night. My mind was a blank wall. Finally, I scribbled. 1, my laugh, when I use it. 2, my eyes, they see everything, even pain. 3, my cooking. Healthy or not, it feels like home. 4, my ability to survive. 5, my hope, small but stubborn. I slept with the list under my pillow. Morning felt different. Week 3, I pushed a full grocery cart past Abel. Lettuce, tomatoes, chicken breast. He raised a brow. "No ice cream? Not today. That's new." "So am I," I said, and kept walking. Week 4, I finished my first 30-minute home workout without pausing. When the trainer yelled, "Last push," I shouted back, "I'm still here." The TV couldn't hear me, but my soul could. Week 5, I jogged 2 laps around the estate. Mama Ngozi cheered. "Abigail, you're glowing," I laughed, lungs burning. "Thank you, Mama." Sneakers pounding tar, sweat dripping. Every step felt like an answer to an old insult. Abel watched my changes with a mix of confusion and boredom. He still joked, but the jokes landed on stronger skin. One night, he reached for my waist and said, "Space here is shrinking." I stepped back, eyes steady. "My body is not your punchline." He blinked like someone slapped awake. I walked off, leaving the fork in his hand. Hey, story lovers, if Abigail's quiet fight sparks something in you, hit subscribe right now. More shocks and sweet revenge are on the horizon. Don't blink, or you'll miss the next twist. October rolled in hot and sticky. My walks turned into slow jogs. My notebook filled with hopeful ink instead of hurt. I dropped 4 kilos, then 6. Clothes fit differently. Mirrors spoke kindness. One humid Friday, Abel hurried home earlier than usual, clutching a folded paper. His forehead glistened, not from heat, but from worry. "Doctor called," he muttered, tossing the paper onto the table. I paused my workout video. "Everything okay?" He shrugged too fast. Annual physical results. They love to scare people. He opened the fridge, grabbed a cold soda, chugged half, belched. I picked up the paper. Medical terms danced before my eyes. Hypertension. Pre-diabetic. Cholesterol above normal limits. My chest tightened, not with victory, but with old love trying to breathe. "Abel, these numbers." He slammed the fridge. "Doctors exaggerate. They want you on drugs so they make money. I'm strong. Look at me." But I did look. I saw dark circles under his eyes, the extra weight he carried around his middle, the way he rubbed his chest after climbing the stairs. I also saw fear peeking through arrogance. That night, he couldn't finish his burger. He pushed the plate away, hand on his stomach. "Acid reflux," he said. 15 minutes later, he was in the bathroom, coughing hard. 2 a.m. A sharp grip on my arm yanked me from sleep. Abel's face hovered above me, sweaty, pale. "I feel weird." He gasped. My heart leapt. "Where?" "Chest. Tight. Can't." I sprang up, grabbed my phone, dialed the emergency number. My voice trembled as I gave our address. Abel bent over, one hand on the dresser, breath rattling. The ambulance siren pierced the night. Neighbors peeked from windows. Paramedics strapped Abel onto a stretcher. He squeezed my hand, eyes wide with something I'd never seen before. Raw, childlike fear. At the hospital, fluorescent lights hummed overhead. Doctors raced Abel down a corridor. I followed, paperwork in hand, tears blurring the forms. In the waiting room, I paced. The wall clock ticked loud. Every beep from behind the theater doors felt like a verdict. Finally, a doctor, round glasses, tired eyes, emerged. Mrs. Emanuel? Yes. Your husband experienced an episode of unstable angina. Not a heart attack, but a warning. His blood pressure is dangerously high. We're running more tests, but you should prepare for lifestyle changes. Lifestyle changes, words I already knew well. Next morning, Abel lay in a private ward, IV drip tapping quietly. His face looked gray, lips dry. When he opened his eyes and saw me, tears pooled. Abby, his voice cracked. I thought I was dying. I sat, took his hand. You scared me. He stared at the ceiling. Doctor said my arteries are like crowded traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge. A weak laugh. He actually used that example. Dr. Glasses returned with a chart. Your cholesterol is high, blood sugar borderline. Keep this path, and a major attack is likely. He listed changes: low-salt diet, less alcohol, daily exercise, therapy for stress. Abel nodded, but I could tell the words floated above him like foreign birds. The doctor turned to me. Support matters. Encourage healthier cooking. Join him in walks. I swallowed. I'm already on a plan. The doctor smiled slightly. Good. Pull him along. When the doctor left, Abel whispered, I don't think I can do all that. You can, I said, squeezing his hand. But you have to want to. His eyes found mine. Red, scared. Do you still want me, Abby? The question hit like a stray bullet. I inhaled. Memories flashed. Wedding laugh, barbecue taunt, late night tears. But also early dating days when he played guitar for me in a cramped hostel room. I want you alive, I said softly. More than anything. Abel was discharged with a bag of pills and a pamphlet titled Living with Hypertension. At home, I cleared the fridge. Sodas, sausages, leftover chips. Gone. What will I eat? He whined, sitting at the table like a sulking child. I placed a bowl of oatmeal and sliced bananas in front of him. Fuel, not poison. He stared, then picked up the spoon. Morning light painted stripes across our kitchen. Abel's first bite was slow. He frowned. Not bad. I smiled into my mug of green tea. That afternoon, I laid out 2 yoga mats. Doctor said gentle exercise first. He looked at the mat as if it were a snake. I can't bend like those TV people. Just sit, breathe, I said. I'll do it with you. We sat cross-legged, legs shaky. I counted breaths. In, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3. Abel's shoulders dropped. Sweat dotted his brow, but his face relaxed. After 10 minutes, he whispered, feels peaceful. We walked 10 minutes around the block. Neighbor kids pointed. Abel in sweatpants was a rare sight. He forced a grin, but I heard his heavy breathing. Still, he finished the loop. Nighttime. Pill organizer open. I watched him swallow tablets, chase them with water. He made a face. I hate feeling old. Feeling older is better than not feeling at all, I teased gently. He sighed, reached for my hand. You've changed, Abby. You're stronger than I knew. I met his eyes. I had to be. He nodded, shame flickering. I'm sorry. Silence hung between us, thick, fragile. I squeezed his fingers. Save the breath, use it for another walk tomorrow. He laughed, a small, honest laugh that reminded me of the guitar days. For the first time in a long while, the sound didn't hurt. 1 week later, we walked 15 minutes. 2 weeks, 25. Abel's cheeks grew color. His jokes softened. When he tried a jab, slow down, speed racer. I raised a brow. He chuckled. Sorry, old habits. We attended a nutrition class at the clinic. The counselor held up palm oil and said, use in moderation. Abel nudged me, whisper giggle, they're talking to you. I nudged back, smiling, and to you. At home, he tried my bean pepper soup and surprised himself. I could eat this again. Tomorrow, I said, winking. One evening, he paused on the scale. 79 kilos. I dropped 5. I clapped. He grinned like a kid who found extra ice cream money. He joined me for therapy twice. He sat, fidgeting, then told Dr. Efe, I used jokes as a shield. I was scared people would laugh first, so I laughed louder. I listened, tears softening. He turned to me. I know I hurt you. I'm sorry, Abby. Words I'd hoped to hear, but never expected. They patched small holes in my heart, not fully, but enough to breathe easier. Yet karma doesn't vanish after one lesson. It lingers, echoing until the message sticks. Abel's older friends teased him for going soft, skipping beer nights. At first, he wavered. One Friday, he returned late, breath smelling of malt liquor, eyes glassy. Chest pains nudged him awake at 4 a.m. I held him. Counted seconds. The pain eased, but fear sharpened. Never again, he gasped. Never. After that, he tossed the stout bottles, filled the fridge with water and unsweetened Zobo. He asked me to teach him my sautéed vegetable recipe. One lazy Saturday, he watched me tie my sneakers. Going for your run? Want to join? He hesitated, then rose. Yeah, let's go. We jogged the estate loop. Sweat poured. At the final turn, he slowed. My legs. Fire! We stop when you're done, not when you're tired, I said, quoting my trainer. He grunted, pushed, finished. He leaned on a lamppost, chest heaving. Then he looked at me, eyes shining with something new. Thank you, he said simply. I nodded. Words felt small compared to the view. Sunrise tinting the clouds, our shadows long on the road, two hearts beating in rhythm, one healing, one already half-healed. The Monday started normal. Hot sun, loud buses, Abel humming while he tied his sneakers. We planned a short jog, then smoothies. I filled my water bottle. He teased, blue bottle for you, pink for me, gender swap. We laughed. Outside, the air smelled of dust and fried akara. Halfway round the estate loop, Abel slowed. Chest's tight, he said, rubbing his sternum. Walk, breathe, I coached, touching his elbow. 10 steps later, he staggered, grabbed the low fence, knees shaking. His face turned ash gray. Sweat rolled, not the healthy kind, but cold beads that screamed danger. Sit, I ordered. Neighbors' watering plants looked over. I knelt, pressed 2 fingers to his pulse, racing drums inside soft skin. Abel tried to smile. It came out crooked. Just a stitch? I'll be fine. No jokes now, I snapped, dialing the emergency number. My voice shook but stayed loud. Address, symptoms, heart history. Sirens carved open the morning. Paramedics rushed. Abel's eyes fluttered as they strapped him onto the gurney. He squeezed my hand once, like a child afraid of darkness. Then the doors closed. I followed in a taxi, mind racing. Hold on, hold on, hold on. At the hospital, bright lights and antiseptic bit my senses. They wheeled him through swinging doors marked cardiac unit, no entry. I stood frozen, fists tight, notebook back home on the bedside table, no place to hide words here. Minutes stretched into rope. I paced, counted steps, whispered prayers my mother once taught me. Then I did something strange. I hugged myself. Arms crossed, palms on shoulders, rocking like a mother calming a scared child, except the child was inside me. A nurse came at last. Mrs. Emanuel? Yes. Your husband had an episode of unstable angina. Again, we've stabilized him, but he'll stay overnight for monitoring. I exhaled, knees weak. Can I see him? Give us an hour, she said gently. Abel lay pale against white sheets, chest wired to a screen that beeped every second. I pulled a chair close, took his limp hand. His eyelids fluttered. Abby? I'm here, I whispered. His lips trembled. Thought I was going. Everything went black. Then I heard your voice. Tears welled, but I stayed calm. He needed a lighthouse, not stormy waves. You're safe. Let the doctors fix the traffic jam in your chest, okay? He managed a weak chuckle. Still using that bridge joke? Borrowed from your doctor. We sat in quiet hums, monitor beeps, oxygen hiss, my heartbeat loud in my ears. I stroked his knuckles. Fingers that once pinched my waist now felt fragile as bird bones. Visiting hours ended. I was the last to leave. At the door I turned. Abby, he called softly. Yes, I'm afraid. I walked back, kissed his forehead. Me too, but fear can walk with us. It just can't drive. His eyes glistened. Stay tomorrow? All day. Story lovers, pause a second. If your heart pounded through that ambulance ride, smash the subscribe button below. More raw twists are racing at you, and I promise, they get wilder. Don't blink. 2 days later, Abel was cleared to go home with strict orders. No alcohol, low salt, 30 minutes walk daily, therapy for stress. I packed his bag. He watched from the bed, IV removed, wristband still imprinting his skin. On the way out, he stopped at a hallway mirror. Hospital mirrors are harsh, no warm lighting, no filters, just truth. He stared. His cheeks looked sunken, eyes ringed dark. Hospital gown hung loose. I stood behind, my reflection beside his, sweaty ponytail, no makeup but glowing from steady workouts and sane meals. Abel touched the glass. Look at us, he murmured. I am. I'm disappearing, he whispered. And you? You're shining. I didn't know what to say. My hand lifted to his shoulder, but he flinched, not from pain, from shame. At home, he shuffled to the sofa. I brewed hibiscus tea. He sipped slowly. The house smelled different, no fried oil, only fresh ginger and lemongrass. He reached for the wedding album on the shelf, a dusty relic we hadn't opened in years. He flipped pages. Our first dance, me in lace, him in sleek suit, lights glittering. He stopped at one shot. I was laughing wide, arms out, while he stood behind me making a joke face, eyes bulging, lips forming a crazy O. He'd loved that photo once because it went viral among friends. Now he traced my image. Your smile, I ruined it. Silence pooled thick. He flipped further to the hotel threshold picture. Him carrying me, both of us laughing. I recalled the hidden pain behind my smile. He shook his head, voice cracking. I remember saying heavy cargo, thought I was funny. He shut the album, tears dripping on the cover. Abigail, I was cruel. I sat beside him, held my own knees. My chest felt like a drum tightened too hard. Words fought inside. Anger, relief, sorrow. I'm sorry, he said, eyes red. Sorry for every joke, every pinch, every look. You gave me love. I gave you insults. He covered his face. Forgive me if you can. I breathed slow, felt the room tilt with memories. Then I spoke, steady, clear. You hurt me, I said. Deep. Some scars will stay, but seeing you almost die hurt worse. I don't want revenge. I want us both alive, whole, honest. He lowered his hands, wiped tears with a shaky laugh. I don't deserve you. Deserve is a tricky word, I said. Maybe we earn each other one kind act at a time. He nodded, swallowing hard. Teach me to be kind. I reached for his hand, warm, trembling. We'll learn together. He squeezed back, whispered, thank you. Next dawn, alarm rang at 6. I laced my sneakers. Abel sat on the bed, pills in hand. Ready? I asked. He swallowed tablets. Ready. We walked side by side, slow pace. At first he talked, apologies, plans, fears. Then words faded, footsteps filled the gaps. Orange sun crawled up the sky, painting our shadows long. Halfway, he stopped, hand on chest, breathing hard. I offered water. He sipped, nodded. Keep going, he said. I'll catch up. No man left behind, I joked, linking arms. We walked the rest together. Back home, we cooked oats, diced mango. He sprinkled a little cinnamon and smiled. Tastes like hope, I smiled back. Get used to it. Friday, Dr. F's office. Obel sat beside me this time, fingers interlaced with mine. He spoke first. I mocked Abigail because I feared my own flaws. Making her small made me feel big. Now I feel tiny. Dr. F. nodded. Recognition is step 1. Step 2 is repair. Abel turned to me. Tell me how to repair. I inhaled. Listen more. Joke less. Choose words like you'd choose medicine. Only what heals. He scribbled notes like a student. My heart softened. Tears pricked. I wasn't healed, but the wound was airing, and fresh air can do wonders. That evening, I found Abel rifling through kitchen shelves. I was tossing sugary cereal into a bin bag. What are you doing? I asked. Decluttering poison, he said. If it tempts me, it tempts you. We don't need enemies in our pantry. I blinked, tears again, but this time warm with gratitude. We took the bag to the bin outside. Neighbor kids waved. Abel waved back, laughing shy. One shouted, Uncle Abel, race me! Abel looked at me, grinning. Give me a month, champ. Inside, I wrote in my notebook, a new section, fresh page. Tonight, he chose health over habit. I see a new man sprouting in old skin. Healing looks nothing like the movies. There is no violin swell, no slow-motion hug that fixes years of hurt. Healing is small, daily choices, each one easy to dodge, each one heavy as wet sand. Abel's first hard choice was shame in front of family. One Sunday after church, he asked Uncle Bio for 5 minutes at the lunch table. 30 relatives pressed close, remembering his old jokes. My stomach fluttered. Abel cleared his throat, voice shaking. I used words like knives, he said. I thought I was being funny. I hurt the one person who loved me most. He turned to me. Everyone turned too. Abigail, I am sorry. I'm choosing new words from now on. Silence stretched, brittle. Auntie Ngozi dabbed her eyes. Cousin Tunde nodded. I swallowed my nerves and stood. Thank you, I said, meeting his gaze. Let's show them the new joke. Kindness. Light laughter rose, soft and warm. A door cracked open inside me. Tuesdays, 4 p.m., we sat on the love seat in Dr. F's office. Homework this week. Say one true compliment every day. Abel tried first. Awkward. You make the best Zobo. I smiled. You remember my schedules better than Google Calendar. We laughed. Real laughter. No hidden blades. Next week homework. Plan a joint goal. We chose the charity 5K walk for heart health. Training started at dawn. Fast walks turned to light jogs. I counted our breaths in twos. Abel counted jokes, but kept them kind. Paprika makes chicken taste like smoke without real smoke. He yelled from the stove, waving a wooden spoon. I clapped. Chef in the making. We built a ritual. Sunday meal prep. Big pots bubbled, music blasted, we danced while chopping vegetables. Calories burned before lunch. 3 weeks in, Abel slipped, late-night snack run, 2 meat pies and a soda. I woke to the smell, heart sinking. He caught my look, eyes wide. Stress got me. We talk next time, I said, calm but firm. He nodded, dumped the soda, hugged me. No tears, no shouting, just a new promise. Hey, story lovers! If second chances make you believe in love again, hit that subscribe button now. The final twist is moments away and you do not want to miss it. The charity 5K race day arrived clear and bright. Lagos sky shimmered like blue silk. Crowd buzzed with cheers. Participants wore red shirts that read, "Hearts beat better with kind words." We lined up. Abel squeezed my hand. Ready, coach? Ready, student, I grinned. The starter horn blared. Feet pounded asphalt. First kilometer, Abel breathed easy. Second, he puffed. Third, sweat soaked our shirts. He slowed, chest heaving. Walk? I asked. He shook his head, determined. One more lamppost. We reached it. He grinned through pain. Okay, now we walk. At the finish line, Auntie Ngozi waved a phone, tears streaming. Crowd clapped as we crossed together, arms raised. Abel burst into laughter, pure, bright, childlike. I joined, lungs on fire, but heart light. The kind words only dinner. 1 month later, we hosted friends in our tiny flat. Candles flickered, grilled fish smells danced with soft jazz. At the door, a hand-painted sign read, "Compliment tax. Pay before you enter." Guests laughed, dropping praises in a glass jar. Tasty cook. Great storyteller. Best teammate. During dessert, Abel tapped a glass. One quick word, he said, eyes shining. If sarcasm built walls, kindness built bridges. Tonight, we're all engineers. Cheer erupted. Spoons clinked. He turned to me. And to my bridge, Abigail, you walked me from darkness to daylight. Thank you. Heat filled my chest. Soft, safe heat. Late night balcony talk. After guests left, we stood on the balcony overlooking blinking city lights. Traffic hummed like distant drums. Abel leaned on the rail. Remember our wedding night? Pain pinched, but I nodded. I wasted those moments, he said. If I could start over. You can, I said, taking his hand. We start over every sunrise. He kissed my knuckles, gentle. For once I didn't flinch. Notebook epilogue. Later, alone, I opened the book of silence. Last page blank. I wrote, "We replaced knives with seeds. Now watch us grow a forest." I closed the book, slipped it into a drawer, not to hide it, but to make space on my bedside for new pages, new pens, new stories. Over to you, story lovers. Did Abel earn his second chance? Was Abigail too gentle or just strong enough? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one. And don't forget, tap the right corner of your screen for more heart-pounding, tear-jerking tales waiting just for you. Until next story, keep your words kind and your hearts strong.